Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to crack the code on the essential language every single aspiring business analyst needs to know. And we're basing this on the core concepts from the official playbook, the International Institute of Business Analysis, or IIBA. All right, let's dive right in with a question that trips up almost everyone when they're starting out. What is the real difference between a need and a requirement? I promise you, get this wrong and a project can go sideways fast. But stick with me, and by the end of this, it's going to be crystal clear. You know, every profession has its own language, right? Doctors have their own shorthand, lawyers have theirs. Well, business analysis is no different. Learning these terms isn't about sounding smart, it's about having the right tools for the job. Honestly, it's your ticket into the game. Okay, so before a business analyst can solve any problem, we have to understand the world that problem exists in. So we're going to start with the 30,000-foot view. We're talking about the biggest concept of all, the enterprise. Now, you're going to hear people use the words enterprise and organization all the time, often like they mean the same thing. But for a business analyst, nope, they are not the same. And knowing the difference is absolutely crucial for figuring out where you can actually make a difference. So let's break it down. Here's the easiest way to think about it. The enterprise is the whole car. It's the entire business, the vehicle that's trying to get somewhere, usually to make a profit. The organization, on the other hand, is the engine inside that car. It's the structure, the departments, the org chart. It's how the car actually moves. One is the what, the other is the how. Okay, so we've got our context. We know the enterprise we're playing in, so where does a BA's work really start? It all begins with a need. Every single project a BA touches starts right here with a need. Think of it like the spark that starts the fire. It's either a really painful problem that's costing the company money, or it's a golden opportunity that they just can't afford to miss. It is the big strategic why for everything that's about to happen. Let's make this super personal. Your goal. I need a new job? That's a perfect example of a need. It's the core problem you're trying to solve, the big objective that's going to drive all of your actions. So, if the need is the destination you plug into your GPS, then requirements are the turn-by-turn directions. They're the specific, concrete things that you have to do or build to actually get there. Let's put them side by side. The need is the big why, the strategic goal, like we've got to increase our market share. The requirement is the nitty-gritty what, the specific feature that helps you get there, like the website must have a one-click login. You see? You build the what to achieve the why. And look how this plays out with our career analogy. Your high-level need for that new job is just a wish until you start ticking off the specific requirements. You got to get the training, learn the tools, fix up that resume. You just can't get to the destination without taking all the individual steps. Okay, so we figured out the why, that's the need. And we figured out the what, those are the requirements. Now it's time to figure out the how. And this brings us to the solution. So, what exactly is a solution? It's the specific path you decide to take. Let's say your need is to improve customer service. You've got options, right? You could build a new mobile app, you could improve the website, or maybe create an AI chatbot. The solution is that strategic choice you make. Okay, we're building the chatbot. To really see how a solution works in the real world, let's look at this absolutely fantastic case study from the airline industry. It shows the incredible power of connecting needs, requirements, and solutions perfectly. So, Indigo Airlines had a really clear need, become the most profitable airline in a cutthroat market. Their solution? It was brilliant. Instead of just fighting over ticket prices, they focused on one thing, relentlessly cutting fuel costs by making their planes as light as humanly possible. And this is where it gets really fascinating. To actually pull off their solution of reducing weight, they implemented these very specific requirements. Serving only cold food meant they could rip out the heavy ovens. Hiring mostly female crew leveraged a lower average weight. Each one of these seems kind of small on its own, but they all served that one single purpose: cut weight, save fuel. And the result? It was amazing. These seemingly tiny changes, these specific requirements, they added up to millions of dollars in fuel savings. This laser focus on their solution made Indigo a dominant force in the market. That's the power of perfectly lining up your requirements to your solution and your need. Okay, so once you've chosen your solution, let's stick with the mobile app example, you need a way to show people what it's actually going to be. That's design. It's the mock-up, the wireframe, the visual blueprint that takes the solution from just an idea in your head to something real that people can see and react to. But let's be real, no project plan is ever perfect. The road from need to solution is always full of potential bumps and potholes. A huge part of a BA's job isn't just planning for success, but also anticipating failure. And this is where we need to talk about risk. In simple terms, a risk is just any uncertainty that could have a negative effect on your project. Now, a project manager worries about the budget and the timeline, but a BA, we're specialists. Our main focus is on requirements risk, the danger that the things we're defining might be wrong or incomplete or just plain impossible to build. This right here is a BA's bread and butter. We're on the lookout for risks tied directly to the requirements. Like, is the new payment gateway actually going to work with the old shopping cart system? If a requirement is kind of vague, is there a chance the developers could build the completely wrong thing? I'm telling you, these are the questions that keep a good BA up at night. So let's recap the whole journey. This is the fundamental flow of business analysis. Everything starts with the enterprise, which is the context for all our work. Within that enterprise, a need pops up, a problem or an opportunity. We then break that need down into specific requirements. From there, we choose a solution to meet those requirements. And finally, we create a design to bring that solution to life. That is the core logic of this entire profession. So now you've got the vocabulary, the foundational building blocks of business analysis. You can literally see the world through a new lens, not just as a bunch of problems, but as a series of needs, requirements, and potential solutions. So the only real question left is, what problem do you want to solve first?